Hey everybody, I'm Mystery, and this is my ideas for the Avengers 2. Now, I know the Avengers hasn't come out yet, but people are already thinking about a sequel. People are already thinking of heroes who should be in a sequel. Now, this is who I believe should be in the sequel. Black Panther, Ant-Man, and his Giant Man, the Wasp, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. The reason why are because those are the characters that people love the most and want to put in the movie the most. Now, to the casting now. Nathan Fillion is Ant-Man - Giant Man. Now, I know it's a little typical, I know it's a little unnormal or unoriginal, but hey, come on! He can play anyone. Heck, I bet he could play himself in a biopic. Even when he was young. But you never know. He's a good he's a good actor. He can play a scientist. He could play anything. Wasp. The female villain from V. Morena. I don't know her last name, but I know her first name is Morena. I believe she could play a good scientist, because that's how I would want the Wasp. Not as a, ooh, look, I designed clothes. I would want her as the scientist, Dr. Janet Van Dyne. Third, Black Panther, Heavy Duty from G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. Now, I know people are thinking Jaimin Hansu. Now, that's not original. My casting is a little original because not that many people think of him. But I'm saying him just because I have Jaimin Hansu for the DC universe as a major character. And the actor is a good actor. He's good. He's a good actor. And that's mainly it. If you're a good actor, then you got the star quality. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. That was actually hard. It was really, really hard. I would have to say Serinda Zatanna from Smallville. Because she already knows how to do the magic stuff. And she's pretty close to looking like Scarlet Witch as well. I would also say Justin Hartley for Quicksilver, just because I couldn't think of anyone. I literally couldn't think of anyone else. I couldn't think of anyone to play Quicksilver just because he's too hard to cast. He is really a hard character to cast because you're trying to think of someone right for the role, but yet you don't want to think of someone who's terrible. So I just put someone who is in the middle. He's good and he's terrible. He has some good moments and he has some bad moments. That's how life is. That's how he is. So, yeah. And finally, Vision. It's the last casting I'm going to give because Ultron's next. I'm going to cast, to me, the sequel should have Ultron. But this character would be played or voiced by, going Smallville again, but this guy has a good voice, Michael Rosenbaum. Michael Rosenbaum has a voice that could sound robotic. And it's a pretty daggum good voice, too. And I believe that he could bring realism to the character. He can bring real emotion to Vision. Even though Vision's a robot. And most likely, if they were to do it in the movies, they would make him look more like a robot. Instead of just a guy, it looks like he's wearing a suit with a red face. Which, I don't enjoy that version. I like it when they actually show him with limbs, robotic pieces, you know, all that jazz. Now, for Ultron, my casting is... And it's just a voice. Drumroll. I cast Christopher Judge as the voice. You know, Teal'c from Stargate. Now, you may be wondering why. It's because, well, it's simple. He has an amazing voice. If he were to put that Teal'c voice into Ultron, Ultron would be too freaking scary. I would freak out every time I saw Ultron if he had that Teal'c voice as Ultron. I mean, that deep voice, insane. Indeed. But that's just me. Who do you believe should play Who do you believe should be in the sequel, hero and villain-wise? And if so, I want to hear your casting for them too. And also, leave a comment on what you think of my characters and my casting. So, see you on the flip side later. Don't do drugs. Try to say no. Don't have sex before you're married. All that jazz. Don't do a lot of bad stuff. Don't commit crime. Don't commit robbery. Don't do rape. Don't shoot anyone. You know, all that jazz. Don't murder. Blah, blah, blah. Etc. 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 Later.